guys, today we're gonna make some lasagna soup. So, we have our meat thawing. Here's our other ingredients. We're gonna take onions, red pepper, green pepper. We're gonna cut them up. We're also gonna need oven-ready lasagna, tomato basil, garlic pasta sauce, garlic powder, Italian season, red pepper, minced garlic, onion powder, Parmesan cheese, and chicken broth. Now you're going to want to take butter, oil, and put in a pan. Now, I use a cast iron for everything, but I took butter, I took hamburger meat, I'm going to cook up the hamburger meat, and while it's cooking, I'm going to be chopping these and dicing these up. And yes, that was my kids' sneezing that you heard, so we've got these all chopped up and we're waiting on the meat to finish cooking. Also, just to say, you can either use the tomato basil garlic pasta sauce, or you can use tomato paste, or you can use a mixture of both of these. I prefer a little bit of both for the perfect consistency. Also, personally, I add a little bit of granulated sugar just to feel some of the acidity in this, so that's up to you. Now, these are just the ingredients for the actual base of the soup. Once we top it, there's going to be more ingredients that consist of ricotta and a few other things. Also to note, I'll post a full ingredient list at the very end of this video as well. Now, when your meat's about halfway done, you're going to go ahead and put about a half a tablespoon of the minced garlic. Just add that in there so it can cook up a little bit. Also, I would go ahead and start adding the veggies just because I want my veggies soft and not a crunchy consistency. If you prefer your vegetables to be crunchy, you can just wait on those. I'm going to go ahead and add mine now. Okay, I've added the garlic. And I've added my veggies, and now it is cooking. I'm going to cook this for maybe about 5 minutes, guys, and then we'll add in the tomato paste and a little bit of the tomato sauce. Okay, I've added in half a can of tomato paste and a little bit of the tomato sauce, and then we're going to add about a tablespoon of the granulated sugar. Okay, our sugar is in, and we have reduced this from a medium-high down to a medium-low setting. Now, we're going to go ahead and for added seasoning. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to do our onion powder, our garlic powder, our red pepper flakes, and of course our Italian seasoning, and our Parmesan. Hey guys, I don't measure any of this, so don't ask me for the measurements because I'll literally just eyeball it. Next thing I want you and your family enjoy. We're going to mix all these seasonings up real good. You don't want it to burn, so you want to make sure it's on between a low and a medium heat. Then we're going to go ahead and we're going to put our chicken broth. You can also use beef broth, but I'm going to try chicken broth. The chicken broth I'm using is a 32 ounce. Now it's going to look very liquidy, a little greasy. That's okay, that loves how it's supposed to look, and it's totally fine because remember, you still have to add your oven-ready lasagna noodles to this, so keep that in mind. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to turn this back up, you're going to bring it to a bowl. Side note to say, you can also add bay leaves to this if you want, and spinach, but I definitely do not want to add either of those because it would be a big waste, and my kids definitely would not eat it. As you can see, it's starting to come to simmer, but we're going to bring it to a full bowl and then add the oven-ready lasagna noodles. Then we're going to cover it. I also have a cast iron cover for this. We're going to cover it and let it simmer for several hours. As you can see, it's come to a bowl. We're going to take some of these pasta noodles and we're going to break them up into about 4 pieces per pasta is good. If you want smaller or larger pasta, that's totally fine, but that's just how I'm going to do mine. So we're going to go ahead and do that. FYI, I ended up using 8 of these. So I ended up using 8 of these total, not 8 pieces. It was probably about 16 or 20 pieces, but see, I ended up using 8 of these. Now we're going to stir these noodles up really good. She's doing okay. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to reduce it to between a medium and a low, and we're going to cover this. I ended up covering mine with a crock pot lid that I have, or a cast iron skillet lid rather. Guys, now every few minutes you're going to want to come back to this and be sure to give it a stir so the noodles don't stick to the bottom. Just to make sure it's not too dried out. It shouldn't be. I didn't have to add any water or anything of mine. It is about half of a cast iron pot full, just for reference. I like to taste test mine along the way and see if I need to add anything else with mine. I determined it definitely needed more black pepper, so I went ahead and added some more of that. Okay, this is basically almost done, so now we're gonna take just a little bit of milk and pour down in this. We're gonna go ahead and pour a little bit of milk in this since it's basically done. We're going to immediately get for soup, and we're gonna stir this milk up. Now we're gonna add some shredded cheese. You can use mozzarella, any type of cheese you want. Personally, I like the mixed cheese, so that's what I'm going to use. So here we have our cheese, guys, but that's not it. Now the other steps are going to involve ricotta, sour cream, and Parmesan cheese. That's going to be our toppings. So we have our ricotta, our sour cream, and our Parmesan cheese. Personally, I like the shredded Parmesan cheese because it tastes better, but all I have was a powder. Use either one, just mix these up in a bowl. Then we're gonna go back, we're gonna add a little bit of Italian seasoning on this. And we're gonna add a little bit of cheese to it. So here's how our soup is looking. You can always go ahead and add more Italian seasoning to that as well. I like my stuff well seasoned. So I know it's not exactly the most systemic, but here's our soup. With this on top. We mix it all together and eat it. And guys, it is so good. So good. Thanks for sticking around for this long recipe. I'll go ahead and post it and put all the ingredients on here. Just side note, you can also use Italian sausage, bay leaves, and spinach and lettuce if you please, but I'll leave those ingredients out.